Hello and welcome back. Now, have you heard of the Nintendo Game Boy? Wow, it was a portable gaming device. I'm not sure if you got a chance to play it when you're younger, but it was a big hit during my time. You know, you had games like Super Mario and The Legend of Zelda, and of course, Tetris. Anyway, why am I talking about Game Boy? Because today is your lucky day. We're going to make a modern, simplified version of the Game Boy on Excel. Let's call it the Game Homo sapien. It's gonna be so much fun, and I think it'll be an interesting way to learn VBA together. Are you ready? Come, let's begin. First things first, we need to set up Microsoft Excel to be VBA friendly. So, if you're using Mac OS, go to Excel, Preferences, Ribbons and Toolbars, Ribbon, customize this ribbon, and then click the checkbox next to the developer and save the settings. If you're using Windows, go to File, Options, Customize Ribbon. Under Main tabs, find the box labeled Developer and click the checkbox next to it. Save the settings and you're done. Now, please note that Microsoft did not enable VBA for Excel on iPad and Android devices, so you need to use a desktop or laptop computer. We're ready to begin! So let's create a spreadsheet from scratch. First, we're going to prepare for this activity by resizing our columns and rows so that each cell looks like a square. The simplest way is to just click the grey square at the top left hand corner of the spreadsheet. This will select everything in your spreadsheet. Then we'll just click and drag the columns and the rows to adjust the sizes. Done? Alright, now on our first cell on the spreadsheet, let's choose cell A1, let's type the words Game Homo sapien. Alright. Now, let's bold the words and increase the size of the font. Okay, now let's save the file. Now, when we're doing VBA, we must save the file as a .xlsm file. Normally, Excel spreadsheets are saved as .xls or .xlsx. Why do we have to do this? Because it's a security feature. VBA macros are so powerful, people have written viruses that have destroyed computers using only VBA. So all macros are disabled by default. This is to protect unsuspecting users from that kind of danger. But don't worry, we're not going to create viruses or spread viruses. We're just going to make the game Homo sapien. So, what silly, lame game are we going to create on our spreadsheet? Well, you know how we have directional controllers on the Game Boy? Up, down, left, right buttons that move the character around? I don't have a Game Boy, but here I have the Nintendo 3DS, right? So, we can... Over here, we got the up, down, left, right button, right? So, we are going to program the directional buttons, alright?
But Game Boy has more buttons what?
Aiyo, did you not hear what I just said? We're going to make a modern, simplified version of the Game Boy. It's not Game Boy, it's Game Homo sapien. Alright, so let's create a button that will start the game. We'll get the button to display a welcome message and place a character in the center of the screen. Now, in Microsoft Excel, click on the Developer tab. And under the section called Form Control, click on the button that has a button on it. Yes, a button with a button. You're free to draw the button anywhere on the spreadsheet. So let's put this right at the top. Okay, a window will appear prompting you to assign something called a macro name. Macros refer to automated tasks that you can create on your own. So go ahead and give it any name that you like whatever button underscore click or something like that. It is good practice to give it an informative name, a name that tells you what this button does. Because why? If you have a lot of macros, you want to be able to find the one that you need. Also, it's good practice to follow the convention of putting underscore click for all macro actions that are activated by a click of a button. If you ever have to write very complicated code or a lot of macros, you want to be able to easily distinguish codes for the buttons and codes for other things, right? Now, so for this demonstration, I'll just call it start game underscore click. I know, it's such a boring name, right? But you can give it whatever exciting name you want. Now, once you're done naming your macro, click the button that says New. Now, a strange looking window will now appear. That is the Visual Basic Editor. Inside, you see a text area with the following code. Sub, start game underscore click, and sub. Now, sub is VBA's way of telling Excel that this is the start of a subroutine or function or a series of instructions that need to be done when this subroutine is called. In this case, clicking the button we created will call this subroutine. End sub is VBA's way of telling Excel that we've reached the end of this set of instructions to run. So let's recap what we need to do with our first button. Again, we need to make the button display a welcome message, and 2, place a character in the center of the screen. So let's start with 1, the welcome message. Let's start coding our message box. So in between sub and end sub, type the following line of code. message box, MSG box, what's up? So your code should look something like this right now. The message box command will instruct Excel to display, well, a message box lah, right? So let's give it a try. Go back to your spreadsheet and click the button. What do you get? What's up? Now, for the fun of it, you can experiment with other silly things with the message box. Haha. Now, if you have a hard time trying to find a VBA window, you can press alternate F11 for Windows, or if you use a Mac, you can use Option F11 or Function Option F11. This helps you to quickly toggle between the VBA editor and your spreadsheet. It's much faster than just clicking around. So, let's try this now, alright? Sub start game _ click message box. OMG, this game is so lame! Okay, let's give that a try. What do you get? Yeah, the message box, OMG, is so lame, right? Now, if you're too lazy to go back and click the button on the spreadsheet, you can always press F5 for Windows. If you're using a Mac, you can press Function F5 or Function Option F5. Now, I'll leave you to amuse yourself by writing some silly messages on the message box. If you think you have the funniest message to display, please take a screenshot and post it on the forums.